Biggie, two Notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace. What up? Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Chill Will Talks. I'm your host, Chill Will 174th, East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. Boogie Down Bronx, you know how we do. New York City, we're going to talk about Biggie and Tupac, man. These two dudes were friends, along with Tretch, the Live Squad, a couple other people, from New York, New Jersey area. You know what I'm saying? They all were friends. They all hung out together. They all did their thing until the whole quad studio shooting happened. And that thing so-called got divided. Now, of course, we all knew in New York, Biggie Junior Mafia had nothing to do with this shooting at all. Pac was coming to that studio to record with somebody else that was in the same building on a different floor, named Little Sean, another rapper at that time, New York City. We know this. You know what I'm saying? So people keep saying that Big knew about it or some dudes was in his studio and all that. These dudes were downstairs in the lobby, man. Big was in a whole separate studio on a different floor with Junior Mafia. They just got their record deal. So they're already celebrating. They trying to record their shit. They don't know Pac is coming to Quad Studios. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't have set him up. They didn't even know the brother was coming there. And that brother wasn't even coming there to see them. They just happened to be there on the same day, the same time. You know what I'm saying? And they were friends. So why would Biggie set them up? They were friends. And people say, oh, well, I think Pac said Biggie wanted to take my spot in one of his interviews, but Biggie album was already out. It was already platinum. So what would he need to take your spot for? You know what I'm saying? That shit that makes sense. And Pac also said in one of his interviews, Biggie tried to tell me something, but we never got to talk. You know what I'm saying? So if he wasn't your friend, he wouldn't have tried to tell you anything. So maybe he did hear some things and wanted to tell you, but he never got to tell you before things happened. So he couldn't have set you up if he wanted to tell you something. It's not a friend. And then I think Pac said in one of his interviews, he had to change his album, Me Against the World, because Biggie's album sounded like his album. Now, I want to know to any producer, any writer, whoever was out there that was working on these music, present it. Where's that? I want to hear these songs that sound like his. Put them out there. Somebody got to have them. Because I ain't hear them yet. I want to hear them. You know what I'm saying? And this definitely goes out to Art of Dialogue and Machiavelli TV, because they stayed trying to dig up dirt on Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like Pac wasn't a human. He make mistakes like everybody else. You know what I mean? And one thing I could say is that when you in the same crew and you hang out with the same niggas all the time, a lot of times a lot of things rub off on each other because y'all say a lot of the same words. Y'all use the same stuff. And it's all right when y'all crew. But as soon as y'all not friends no more, now all of a sudden you bit my stuff. You bit my lyrics. You bit my rhymes. You bit my songs. You bit my style. But when y'all was all hanging together, anything y'all said alike or did alike was all right. And that always happens with friends. When you hang out with friends, your homies, y'all always saying the same words, the same slang, whatever. Y'all friends. It rubs off. Your man might come up with a slogan. Y'all all going to use that slogan because y'all crew. I don't want to say gang because I'm not into that gang bullshit, man. But, it is what it is, man. All I'm saying is these people that keep trying to dig up this dirt, let these two brothers rest in peace. These brothers were friends. And, once Pac put the lie out there, you know what I'm saying? The industry wasn't into the lie. The industry knew the truth. The industry knew there was no East Coast, West Coast beef. But the streets don't know. The streets is different from the industry. So you can tell industry people something, but you can't tell the streets something. Once the streets get a hold of something, they're going to run with it. And they're going to want to kill. Now, I agree. Biggie should have never went to L.A. after Pac was killed. He should never went out there. You know what I mean? I think that was a big part of that, too. But the lie started it all. So let's just get that out there. Art of Dialogue and Machiavelli TV. Let's just put that out there. And I notice whenever somebody bring up that Pac lied, y'all don't like to elaborate on that. Y'all just like to elaborate if somebody say Biggie did something wrong. Y'all want to talk about that. Art of Dialogue say, let's talk about that, my man. Let's hear about that. But when somebody say Pac lied, you don't say, well, let's talk about that. Yeah, tell me about that. I don't hear about none of that. Same thing with Machiavelli TV. You keep trying to dig up dirt on Biggie and trying to find shit. Oh, he was wearing Biggie Pac rings and a picture or some shit. We don't know nothing about none of that shit or what really happened. So stop trying to throw dirt on Biggie's name, man. And I love both of them dudes. Both of them had great music. But let's get one thing clear. In 1993, Snoop Doggy Dogg was the biggest rapper in the game. There was no one better than Snoop, I'm talking about solo rapper, in 1993 at that time. And even Pac was out. So let's be clear on that. Let's be clear. That's for all the Tupac fans that don't know. We talking history. Look it up. Snoop Dogg was the hottest rapper on the scene, especially in New York. Dudes wasn't listening to Pac in New York like that in 93. You know what I'm saying? We only knew a couple of songs like Get Around, Keep Your Head Up. We knew a couple, but we wasn't listening to his albums and none of that. Not in New York anyway. I don't know what the West Coast was doing, but in New York, Snoop Dogg was the hottest rapper on the planet. Niggas only knew Pac for Juice at that time. Just keep it a buck, keep it a fact, keep it real. Niggas only knew Pac for Juice in New York. Niggas ain't really know him for his music back then. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the industry cats, but the cats on the streets, ain't nobody in the streets is playing no Tupac except for the couple of songs you might have seen the videos from. So let's keep that real, keep that clear, Tupac fans. And this is not hate or knock. I'm just telling the truth. Because I was there, I was around. I'm telling the truth, man. You know, I'm not picking sides saying one was better than the other, none of that. All I'm saying is this. They both were dope. They both were the price still. Well, Pac's definitely had nothing to do with Big, but that beef wouldn't have got so big if Pac hadn't alive. And when he found out what the truth was, which somebody spoke about it, when he found out what the truth was, he couldn't pull it back or change it because it was already out there. It is what it is. This is another episode of Chillwood Talks. I'm just talking. But yo, listen. I'm drinking this right now. I can't pronounce the name, but this is fire energy drink. I love this shit in your local stores. Shout out to Chastity. Congratulations on the baby. Shout out to Ashley. Congratulations on the baby. Soul Sports Chicken. That shit banging. Jimbo's in the Bronx. Jumbo's in Harlem. Holla at me. Gold Star 219 White Plains Road. Jamaican food uptown all day. Moody's Record Shop still around 219 White Plains Road. I'm out.